All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Um, I'm Kate, and Robert is over here. And we've got Kayla Farnham joining us today. And tonight we're going to be performing a concert for you that is celebrating women in song, both in songwriting, as Kayla and I are both songwriters. I'm a songwriter with Robert too. And we're also going to be covering some songs that were inspired by women, about women, and generally of the feminine spirit. So I'll be doing a little bit of talking in between. We're going to be sort of doing this as a swap style with our sets. So for the next hour, we're going to be starting off with Kayla doing a set. Then we will go back to Robert and I and trade off until the end of the concert. I hope you enjoy. We're so happy you're joining us today. And I'm going to hand it over to Kayla. We're going to mute ourselves and have Kayla start us off. Thank you.
All right. Hey, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. It's so great to be here. And I want to thank Kate and Robert for inviting me to join them tonight. I'm going to start off with a tune by one of my personal favorite female songwriters that all of you, I'm sure, know. This one's by Joni Mitchell. Played Paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They played Paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. Josh, all the people in arm and a leg to see them. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They played Paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey farmer, put away your DDT now. I don't care about spots on my apples. Leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They played Paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam. Then a big yellow taxi took my old man away. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They played Paradise, put up a parking lot. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They played Paradise, put up a parking lot. Oh, they paved Paradise, put up a parking lot. Thank you so much. So, this next tune is by a woman who collaborated with Joan Baez on her 1995 album Ring the Bells. And I had the opportunity to do a songwriting workshop with her this weekend. Her name is Dar Williams. And I was just so impressed with her songwriting and her songwriting knowledge. And so I'm going to play one of my favorite tunes by her. This one is called When I Was a Boy. I won't forget when Peter Pan came to my house, took my hand. I said I was a boy, I'm glad he didn't check. I learned to fly, I learned to fight. I lived a whole life in one night. We saved each other's lives out on the pirate deck. And I remember that night when leaving a late night with some friends, and I hear somebody say, it's not safe, someone should help me. I need to find a nice man to walk me home. When I was a boy, I scared the pants off of my mom, climbed what I could climb upon. And I don't know how I survived. I guess I knew the tricks all the boys knew. And you can walk me home, but I was a boy too. I was a kid that you would like, just a small boy on her bike, riding topless, yeah, I never cared who saw. My neighbor came outside to say, get your shirt. I said, no way, it's the last time, I'm not breaking any law. Now I'm in a clothing store, and the sign says less is more. More that's tight means more to see, more for them, not more for me. That can help me climb a tree 10 seconds flat. When I was a boy, see that picture, that was me, grass-stained shirt and dusty knee. And I know things have gotta change. They got pills to sell, they got implants to put in, they got implants to remove. And I am not forgetting that I was a boy too. I like the woods where I would creep. It's a secret I can keep, except when I'm tired, except when I'm being caught off guard. I've had a lonesome, awful day. The conversation finds its way to catching fireflies out in the backyard. And I tell the man I'm with about the other life I lived, and I say, now you're Top Gun, I have lost and you have won. He says, oh no, no, can't you see? When I was a girl, my mom and we always talked, and I picked flowers everywhere I walked. And I could always cry, now even when I'm alone, I seldom do. And I have lost some kindness, but I was a girl too. Thank you. I see Kate and Robert clapping. And that makes me happy to actually see applause. We're getting closer to the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, so I'm gonna play one more tune before I pass it over to Kate and Robert. This is an original tune of mine. It's called Golden. You are golden, girl. That's what you are. You are golden, and you're worthy of the stars. You're a bright pearl, as beautiful as you are smart. Lord knows you've worked so very hard to get right to where you are. And you're worthy of it all. You are worthy. May you have all the kindness you've given be returned. May you see in the mirror the abundance that you're worth. May you always travel lightly. May your life always be full. Lord knows you've gone the extra mile, and you're doing it in style, and you're worthy of it all. You are worthy. Like the promising light of a meteorite flying through the indigo sky, building your own paradise. You are your own gold mine. So take your pick, start mining. Don't be afraid of your own shining, because you're worthy of it all. You are worthy. You are golden, girl. That's what you are. You are golden, worthy of the stars. You're an ancient mural. You're as strong as you are fine. Lord knows you've done more than survive. Your beauty stands the test of time, and you're worthy of it all. You are worthy. Like the promising light of a meteorite flying through the indigo sky, you build your own paradise. You are your own gold mine. So take your pick, start mining. Don't be afraid of your own shining, because you're worthy of it all. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy of it all. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy of it all. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You are worthy. You a golden girl. That's what you are. You're a gift to the world, and you're worthy of the stars. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for the beautiful set, especially the original. That was really lovely.
Thank you.
Um, just yeah, really beautiful. Joining us and has joined us in the intro. Um, Again, I'm Kate, and this is Robert, and this is Kayla.
Yeah, thank you all for being a part of this. And we want to make sure we thank the Southbridge Cultural Council, the Massachusetts Cultural Council, the Friends of Jacob Edwards Library, and Margaret Morrissey, the library director, for hosting this event and making this happen. So thank you all so much. And
Yeah, we can't see your faces, but we know you're there, and we really appreciate you being with us today. Um, so, um, so we're gonna start our little set here with one of our original songs, which is the first song that, or one of the first songs that Robert and I wrote together. When I first met Robert and we were singing together, we were singing a lot of his original music, and then I started getting braver and contributing to the songwriting. So this is one of the first ones from a long time ago now, called So Beautiful. Something's moving between the earth and the sky. It is beautiful, so beautiful. Something's moving between you and I. It is beautiful, so beautiful. Wherever you are is never far. Whatever you see is inside of me. Wherever you go, I know you will take me with you. Yeah, 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 yeah. So beautiful, so beautiful. Yeah, 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 yeah. So beautiful, so beautiful. His eyes have never heard, his ears have never seen. Wide-eyed and all tongue-tied as I try to describe the dream. I need to start again, to learn to use this sense so far beyond my experience. I give in. To be guided by innocence. Yeah, 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 yeah. So beautiful,
beautiful.
Wherever you are is never far. Whatever you see is inside of me. Wherever you go, I know you will take me with you. Wherever you go, I know you will take me with you. Thank you. Yeah, so that was one of our original tunes. The next song I chose because I was thinking about this time of year, and I was thinking about a workshop that Robert and I did a few years ago that was hosted by Noreen Narayanan, who is a reverend, an Irish singer and theologian. And she and her two sons, Owen and Molly, hosted a weekend at Kripalu, which is the yoga center up here in the Berkshires. And the workshop was all about, it was called The Happy Heart is True, and it was about Irish singing and poetry. And the weekend was full of storytelling and a little bit about Irish history, and the songs and poems they were sharing were really beautiful. And she's just a really beautiful person and kind of a force of nature to be around. She's just got this really large energetic sphere. One of the things I really admired about her story is that she was talking about she became ordained as a minister through the One Spirit school ministry, and she was talking about when she was first drawn to studying sacred song, that she was trying to sort of study alongside the Benedictine monks, and they kind of didn't want her around because she was a woman. And that's, I'm kind of paraphrasing the story, but basically what it ended up being, she basically persisted in her attempt to join and study alongside and pray alongside them, and even though she couldn't pray with them, she ended up praying in the same church and was able to study sort of peripherally with them. And that was after 3 different tries of approaching the powers that be and being very persistent. And when they realized she wasn't going away, they granted her access to that. So that's sort of a paraphrase of that story, but it was just the energy in which she pursued her passion, and the way she pursued she represented sort of singing and performing as a spiritual practice, which is something that I really aspire to myself, and I think of her as a role model. So anyway, during that weekend, she and her son sang this tune, which is a beautiful lamenting Irish tune, which you may know, which is called Shularin. I wish I was on yonder hill, 'tis there I'd sit and cry my fill, and every tear would turn a mill. Ishkadei to Avani and Slum. Shul, shul, shularun, shul go sucker all go shul gyun, shul go dorin daras aylum, ishkadei to Avani and Slum. I'll sell my rock, I'll sell my reel, I'll sell my only spinning wheel, to buy my love a sword of steel. It's good day to Avani and Slum. Shul, shul, shularun, shul go sucker all go shul gyon, shul go rinduras agus legum, ishkadei to Avani and Slum.
I'll dye my petticoats, I'll dye them red, and round the world I'll beg my bread, until my parents shall wish me dead. Ishke they to Avanin slum. Shul, shul, shul arun, shul go sakura go shul kukyun, shul korin tarasa goes leikon, ishke they to Avanin slum. I wish in vain. I wish I had my heart again, and vainly think I'd not complain. Ishkadei to Havanin slum. Shul, shul, shul arun, shul go sakura go shul. Shul, shul, shul arun, shul go sakura go shul kun, shul korin tarasa gus lekun, ishkadei to Avanin slum, ishkadei to Avanin slum.
Thank you. I apologize if anybody knows Irish really well and I didn't pronounce any of that correctly. I'm working on it. The next tune was another one that Robert and I wrote together, and it was actually the very first song we wrote together. And what it was a poem that I had posted on a blog a long time ago when we first met. And Robert had a piece of music in mind, and it was a couple of years after we had been together, and he said, you know, I have a piece of music that would fit that poem really well. And with just very slight alterations, we made it into a song that was on our first album. And yeah, so this is Being Broken.
Crack went my heart, and I tripped and fell right through. But I don't mind being broken into pieces over you. Looking at your face, so close yet so far from me. In the breaking of the looking glass, I can see the light you see.
and a bird flies out sometimes, as we are making all these plans against the same life we live. In the breaking of the coming day, we can see the life we love.
Thank you. All right. 7 here. So let me just think about the pacing here.
Turn to you next.
Yep. Okay. So the last song that we're going to do in this set, before we pass it back over to Kayla, is a song that is sort of like from a while ago. It's a song that when I heard it as a kid, I didn't know why I loved it so much, and I just wanted to hear it over and over again. And I heard it for the first time visiting my aunt, and she had this album, and I just bothered her to play it over and over again because I just loved it so much. And I couldn't even tell you why as a kid, you know, what the feeling was. But as an adult, I think, I mean, aside from the beautiful voice that Mary Fall has, it was just sort of you know, to me as an adult, it means it's sort of a calling back to yourself, a calling back to a lover, calling back to source or God or what have you. It's just this really beautiful song about kind of returning back to what is essential, or to a lover, if you think of it as a love song. And I'm so glad that it made such an impression on me because I carry it with me now as still one of my favorite songs. This is called Return to Me by the October Project.
You rise like a wave in the ocean, and you fall gently back to the sea. Now I want to know how to hold you. Return to me, return to me. You shine like the moon over water, and you darken the sky when you leave. Now I want to know how to keep you. Return to me, turn to me, turn to me, turn to me. Everything I tell you has been spoken, and everything I say was said before. But everything I feel is for the first time, and everything I feel for you. I am here, calling the wind. I am here, calling your name. I am here, calling you back. Return to me, return to me. I know what it means to be lonely, and I know what it means to be
right, we're going to turn it back over to Kayla for another set. We're going to...
All right. Oh, that was so beautiful, Kate and Robert. Your music is just soul soothing. I love it. All right, so I think I'm gonna start back in with a tune by Carole King. A while back, I had the opportunity to do a Carole King tribute, play through the entire Tapestry album with a full band. So we just recreated the album and played it through in one night. And it was so awesome that we did it a second time, and I hope that someday we'll do a third. But tonight I'm just gonna play the song solo. Here we go. Green fields and rolling hills, room enough to do what we will. Sweet dreams of the yestertime are running through my mind, of a place I left behind. Been so I can't remember when, but I've been to Canaan and I wanna go back again. Been so long, I'm living till then, but I've been to Canaan and I won't rest until I go back again. Though I'm content with myself, sometimes I long to be somewhere else. I try to do what I can with our day-to-day demands. We all need a promised land. Been so Canaan and I wanna go back again. Been so long, I'm living till then, 'cause I've been to Canaan and I won't rest until I go back again. Oh, I wanna be there in the winter time, with a fireplace burning to warm me, and you to hold me when it's stormy. Been so long, I can't remember when, but I've been to Canaan and I wanna go back again. Been so long, I'm living till then, but I've been to Canaan and I won't rest until I go back again. I've been to Canaan and I won't rest until I go back again. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna scoot on over to the harp now. So I'm gonna play an original tune. And this is one that's on my most recent album, Your Spirit is Work of Art. So this is a song that I wrote it in 2017. I was going through a time in my life where I was just, I had been really I guess, weighed down by a lot of things, and I was just learning how to reclaim my voice and reclaim my space. And that was kind of the inspiration behind this tune. It's called Little Swallow. Breathe slow, belly deep, repeat, repeat, repeat. Follow your own flow. Take the leap, don't be discreet, because your heart was made to beat, beat, beat. Feel the life flooding through your veins. That little swallow in your throat, you've got to let it sing. And all the brittle butterflies inside are fluttering, so set it free. See the diamond in every stone, see it shine, see it shine. No matter the mountain you're climbing, whether you're disenthroned, you're still divine, still divine. Feel the life flooding through your veins. That little swallow in your throat, you've got to let it sing. And all the brittle butterflies inside are fluttering, so set it free. But if you're gonna sing, you gotta sing it out through the Milky Way. If you're gonna pray, you gotta feel your faith like a new day. If you gotta scream, then scream and feel the life flooding through your veins. That little swallow in your throat, you've got to let it sing. And all the brittle butterflies inside are fluttering, so set it free. 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 Thank you. Back to piano. So this is a new song. It's my newest song, and I wanted to write something specifically for Women's History Month. So I was kind of bouncing around the internet for some inspiration, and I was looking at this book list of recommended books for Women's History Month, and Little Women popped up, and Louisa May Alcott, the author, popped up. And I found this quote by her. The quote is, "Liberty is a better husband than love for women like me." And so I stuck that quote into this song and wrote a story around it. It's called The Spinster. Fraying yarn sits beside spinning wheel, wool, rayon, and silk. And the spinning wheel sits on a rickety table with a rickety chair at the end. And a silver-haired lady sits at the table in a pair of frayed leather boots, spinning a drapery the color of mulberry, vast as the Pacific Sea. And she spins with the brightest fibers, marigold, aster, and rose, weaving new life of the frayed ends of strife. She weaves with all of her will. There's a dusty box in the attic, stashed behind cobwebs and mold. There's a golden ring in the box in the attic, buried deep like the chains of a ghost. And beneath the ring there's an unsent letter, wrapped in a loose end of yarn, stashed in a box behind cobwebs and mold, in an attic closed off, long forgot. And she spins with the brightest fibers, a shield to ward off the chill, weaving new life of the frayed ends of strife. She weaves with all of her will. There's a living room scattered with tapestries of a wayfaring gypsy's field of dreams, and the tapestries circle an Everett baby grand, covered in decades of melodies. And a silver-haired lady sits at the baby grand, barefoot, feral, and free, spinning a melody, the sound of the mulberry, vast as the Pacific Sea. And she spins with the brightest fibers, a song to ward off the chill, weaving new life of the frayed ends of strife. She insists with all of her will. Liberty is a better husband than love for women like me. Liberty is a better husband than love for women like me. Thank you so much.
So I won't say much except that I also chose a Joni Mitchell song because she's sort of like the grandmother of our, of all of us singer-songwriters, men and women alike. So this is Cactus Tree. There's a man who's been out sailing in a decade full of dreams, and he takes her to a schooner, and he treats her like a queen, bearing beads from California with their amber stones and green. He has called her from the harbor, he has kissed her with his freedom, he has heard her off to starboard in the breaking and the breathing of the water weeds, while she was busy being free.
hide her laughter. And now she rallies her defenses, for she fears that one will ask her for eternity. And she's so busy being free. There's a man who sends her medals and he's waiting from the war. There's a jouster and a jester and a man who wants a score. There's a drummer and a dreamer, and you know there may be more. She will love them when she sees them. They will lose her if they follow. She only means to please them. Her heart is full and hollow like a cactus tree. And she's so busy being free. Like a cactus tree. Being
All right, and if we can fit this one in the last 5 minutes, as long as they don't shut the power, we don't shut the power off of ourselves here. Again, we want to thank you, and we want to thank Kayla for joining us and
Yes.
sharing her beautiful music and beautiful voice and talent. If you want to stay in touch, we are all on Facebook and Instagram and all these places. We're at oaksandsmith.net. And Kayla, your mic is on. Do you want to just give a shout out to where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at kaylafarnham.com. And yeah, on Facebook and Instagram at Kayla Farnham.
So this last song, as long as we can make it, is actually a perfect farewell because it's a song that's new to me but has been around for a while. It's a song by a Scottish singer-songwriter named Eddie Vedder, and she wrote this song in 2001. And Robert shared it with me just a couple of days ago, and it made me cry because I felt such relief in it. This past year and change has been hard for everybody, which is, to say the least. I don't know how many times we've all said that to each other, right? It's been hard. But I think the hardest thing for me has been focusing on what we don't have. So this is Simple Soul by Eddie Vedder.
I lift my head up with each sunrise. If I had a simple soul, when I was weary, I'd close my eyes. If I had a simple soul, not too complicated, I shiver when I'm cold. I'd make my home where I am bound if I had a simple soul, simple soul. I say my prayers and hope to God, and I know He will know. I will break my daily bread when the hunger starts to grow. It doesn't have to be that hard. If it hurts, you let it go. What you see is what you are. If you've got a simple soul, simple soul. It might take an alchemist to turn your dust to gold, but it only takes a child to see the diamonds in the coal. It's not so easy when a habit takes a hold. I never knew it would be so hard to keep my my simple soul, simple soul. I never knew it would be that hard to keep my simple soul.
I think we just made it.
You just made it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Thank you again to Kayla for being a part of this event. It's really wonderful to have you with us. Such beautiful songs, such beautiful voice. And we're really blessed by your presence. And thank you to the Massachusetts Cultural Council and Southbridge Cultural Council, the Friends of Jacob Edwards Library, Margaret Morrissey, and everybody who made this possible. And thank you all for joining us. Again, oaksandsmith.net. And Kayla, what was your website again? Kayla Farnham?
KaylaFarnham.com.
Do you want to do that?
Do you want to do an encore?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know you guys cut your set short as well at the end, so.
All right. If you, I don't want, no pressure, but if you want to, that would kind of be a nice way to close things out.
Okay, sure. Sure. I can do an encore.
Yes. Let me mute us here.
All right, so I was going to close my set with a song by Laurie McKenna. It's called Humble and Kind. You know there's a light that glows by the front door. Don't forget the keys under the mat. When childhood stars shine, always stay humble and kind. Go to church 'cause your mama says to. Visit grandpa every chance that you can. It won't be wasted time. Always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride. Always stay humble and kind. Don't expect a free ride from no one. Don't hold a grudge or a chip, and here's why. Bitterness keeps you from flying. Always stay humble and kind. Know the difference between sleeping with someone and sleeping with someone you love. I love you ain't no pickup line, so always stay humble and kind. Hold the door, say please, say thank you. Don't steal, don't cheat, and don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. When it's hot, eat a root beer popsicle. Shut off the AC and roll the windows down. Let that summer sun shine. Always stay humble and kind. Don't take for granted the love this life gives you. When you get where you're going, don't forget, turn around and help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Beautiful.
everybody for being a part of this tonight. Check out the websites if you'd like to stay in touch and the music. All of our music is available online. And
And the
look-
Jacob Edwards Library has other events going on all the time. You can go to their website for more. And yeah, they just provide all kinds of beautiful happenings when it's not a pandemic in person, but online events too. And they just are a great community to be part of. So
yeah, and if you'd like to send a message after the fact, you can use roberteoakes@gmail.com. And we'd love to stay in touch. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Kayla, thank you again.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody
Be
enjoy
well.
your evening. Have a great night.
All right.